Thank you, Ryan, and welcome to the Cronkite Weather Center. Let's take a look at what the rest of our evening is looking like tonight. We're starting out tonight around 90-ish degrees, but we're going to make our way down to 81 degrees by 10 o'clock tonight. We're looking at some warm temperatures tomorrow. As I said, we're looking at a high of 82 degrees with some clouds on Friday. But as we make our way through the weekend, we're seeing some partially cloudy conditions. And by Monday, we're going to see some clouds rolling in with a high of 85 degrees. This week, we're looking at some temperatures that are going to dip down to 70 degrees by Friday with a low of 58 by Friday as well. So those warm temperatures that we've been experiencing for the past few weeks certainly won't be sticking around. With the Cronkite Weather Center, I'm Arielle Nelson, sending it back to the desk. Moving on to those high temperatures as the valley starts to warm up just a little bit. We've got 56 degrees as our high in Page, our state high at 78 degrees down here in Yuma, 62 degrees in Safford, and 73 degrees in Phoenix. Today and tomorrow, Maricopa County has an air quality warning. And that means that sensitive populations like older adults, children, and people experiencing issues with their heart and lungs can have a harder time breathing as a result of an excessive amount of ozone, a pollutant being in the air. Those sensitive populations are being advised to monitor the amount of time that they are spending outside. The general population is being advised to carpool to work, use public transportation, and everyone is being prohibited from burning wood. Now let's move on and take a look at the rest of our evening. We've got a gorgeous night ahead of us, especially if you're planning on going out to dinner and sitting out on the patio. We're starting our evening in the high 90s, but we're going to make our way down to 84 degrees by 10 o'clock. Let's look at those low temperatures for tomorrow. We've got our state low at 35 degrees up in Window Rock, 56 degrees in Safford, 67 degrees in Yuma, and a low of 69 degrees here in Phoenix. Now let's move on to those high temperatures. Along with the gorgeous colors that you can see on this map, you can see some of those triple digits around the valley. We've got 80 degrees up in Window Rock, 75 degrees in Flagstaff, our state high at 103 degrees in Yuma, and 102 degrees as our high here in Phoenix. Now let's look at that 8-day forecast. We've got a warm weekend ahead of us with a high of 101 degrees and sunny conditions on Friday with a low of 67 degrees. Saturday, same high temperatures, but a low of 68 degrees. And on Sunday, we're going to see those temperatures drop just a little bit, along with some cloud coverage coming our way with a low of 69 degrees. Monday, those clouds are going to stick around with a high of 94 degrees and a low of 70 degrees. And those clouds are not going to stay around for much longer. As Tuesday, we're going to have a high of 93 degrees and it's going to be sunny and warm for the rest of the week. Like I said, a gorgeous week coming our way, but with the Cronkite Weather Center, I'm Arielle Nelson, sending it back to the desk. That's right. Thank you, Emily, and thank you, Ryan. Welcome to the Cronkite Weather Center. Let's take a look at the rest of our evening before we take a look at some of those windy conditions that we'll be seeing later this weekend. We've got a pretty warm night up ahead of us. We're starting out around now at around 87 degrees, but by 9 o'clock, we're going to be making it down to 83 degrees. Not really any wind for tonight, especially when we get to 80 degrees at 10 o'clock tonight. Let's take a look at the low temperatures across our state. We've got a low of 53 degrees up in Page, 34 degrees in Window Rock, our state low at 32 degrees up in the Grand Canyon, which is actually just at freezing, and 63 degrees for our low here in Phoenix. We've got some warm temperatures up ahead of us tomorrow. We've got 64 degrees as our high in Flagstaff, 73 degrees up in Window Rock, 72 degrees in Show Low, and our state high at 93 degrees here in Phoenix. Like I said, we have a warm day up ahead of us. As you can see here, though, we are going to be dropping down to the high 70s on Sunday as a result of some of those breezy conditions that are coming our way. But I hope none of you got too excited or too disappointed, because we're popping back up into the 90s by Tuesday with a high of 90 degrees and a low of 60 degrees. And by Friday, we're making it all the way back up to 96 degrees with a low of 67 degrees. From the Cronkite Weather Center, I'm Arielle Nelson.